Let's solve the problems of the world now with the Daily Telegraph columnist and blogger to the Nation, Tim Blair, and Mark Nicholson from Stepmate Studios. I tell you what, we'll do a lot better job than Albanese and Penny Wong, I reckon. Tim, I've got to get your thoughts first. This idea of offering a Palestinian state while Hamas still has hostages and then on the back of the atrocities on October the 7th. I mean, what do we give Northern Ireland to the IRA now? Do the Tamil Tigers get Sri Lanka and do the Islamists get Belgium as well?
It's an incredible position that Penny Wong has placed her government, and you can only assume that with the government's support, but also has placed Australia. This is the equivalent, we had this in the Telegraph Online yesterday, that at least when Neville Chamberlain was proclaiming peace now time and so on and trying to appease Hitler, at that point in the late 30s, Hitler's full evil wasn't known. You could do a deal with Hitler in the absence of awareness of the atrocities that were to come, or that he'd already committed in a lot of cases. But with this, we know what Hamas did.
Yeah, no one has any
excuse. Horrific detail.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, we're like, well, let's have a chat about this whole statehood business. It's obscene, Chris. It's disgraceful.
It is obscene. I got to say, Mark, I just find it so difficult to deal with this. It enrages me. I can't even imagine what it must be like to be a Jewish Australian being sold out in this way by your own government.
It'd be horrible. It'd be absolutely horrible. And then if you look at the polling and opinion polling that's done, it's quite popular. And what's sad is that's exactly the reason why they're doing this. You can see that with the Assange announcement today, which I do agree with. But you can see what the tactic here is. They're just trying to collect all these little lefty votes everywhere they go. And this one, when you zoom out long term, I think it's really gonna look silly. Peter Dutton actually had a good line on this one. It's very rare for him to do that, but he had a ripper. He called them a bunch of uni students, and I think that's pretty apt for these two at the moment. Like, you can imagine Penny with a shaved side of her head and Albo with his little "From the River to the Sea" badge, and they're out there protesting, lying in front of cars in the car park at uni. But read a history book. Get across it and zoom out a little bit. Long term, this is going to really suck for them, I think.
Yeah, spot on. I said last night that they sound much more like leftist activists than actual global diplomats. It's scary. Here's a bit more of what Peter Dutton had to say today.
Yeah.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Penny Wong has damaged our relationship with Israel irreparably. It's clear that the Albanese government does not have a functioning working relationship with our most important ally in the Middle East.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very sad state of affairs, and we'll keep on this because it undermines security and social cohesion in this country as well.